participants in the River Accord, which is my pleasure to introduce. And after I have introduced them, they will each have a brief statement on their participation in the overall project. We have Mr. Casey Fitzgerald from the St. John's Water Management District. We have Melissa Long from the Department of Environmental Protection. Ben Seabold, who serves as the Chief of the Environmental Quality Division for the City of Jacksonville. John Pappas, who's Deputy Director of Public Works for the City of Jacksonville. Nathan Rizzo, who's the Division Chief of Waterfront Management and Programming. Fred Odom, Executive Director of Water and Sewer Expansion Authority. And lastly, Paul Steinbrecher, JAA Director of Environmental Permitting and Assessments Group. This time I'm going to ask Ben Seabold to come forward. Each and every one of you should have received a copy of the River Accord, the annual report, and he will lead us through this.
Good afternoon. We're going to split this up into several talks where each of us are going to say a few minutes, and then we'll open up to questions afterwards. I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. The City of Jacksonville's part is the environmental part, the regulatory part, if you will. So our obligation is to reduce nutrients getting to the river under the Accord's auspices of restoring the health of the river. The way we're doing that is through conservation of water and the irrigation and fertilizer handouts, and to reduce the amount of pollutants running off getting into the water. So we've accomplished this through the handouts you have in your report packet, and those at the back. We talked about those at lunch. We have extras out front. And so please distribute those to your neighborhoods. Talk to people, educate them on this, and if they so like, we will come out and speak to them. We've reached out to homeowners associations and partnered with industries in the retail outlets. The Environmental Protection Board actually recognized Home Depot. They stepped up and were the first store in town, and EPB issued a resolution for them to put up some signage out there where there's the transaction, so the consumer, when they're buying a product, sees front and center the ordinances, at least the key components of it. So by reaching out to them, we were trying to target the homeowners and the consumers. Now also, because of Home Depot's leadership, we got Walmart starting to look at a poster similar to what Home Depot did to try to educate consumers. Since July 2008, when the ordinance went into effect on the irrigation side of the house, we've had 287 complaints and responses. So 287 times 3 or 4, because we have to do multiple visits to go out and resolve these compliance problems. So that's pretty tremendous workload that we've taken on. But that's probably a result of the education, especially water management districts and JAA's ads about water and irrigation. Fecal coliform, dissolved oxygen. That's the other component of our river accord is remove fecal coliform and dissolved oxygen. You got the nutrient load. Septic tanks are a key contributor of that. So through our efforts to do an enforcement side of the house, in conjunction with WSEA, we've got over about 2,100, if you will, septic tanks phased out. We're managing and partnering with WSEA through a water management district contract from a state appropriation to carry this out. Department of Health enforces septic tank compliance if we find actual failures and they're not eligible to hook up because the sewer lines aren't available, so we partner with them. The city, we have the enforcement side of it, so Tree Kilborn and Dana Brown and our staff are diligently working on that end of the piece. Of course, the funding in that contract, we allocated some money towards UTIP, Utility Tap-In Procedure. That is a funding mechanism for low income and folks that qualify for financial aid for them to have that septic system taken offline. So we put some money aside for that. Also, we're using that contract money to do public service announcements, and Dana Morton showed off a couple of those just a little while ago if you're in that session. So we've got $50,000 towards airtime for those PSAs. So look for those in the near future. The other component that EPD can handle is erosion and sediment control. This directly complements the stormwater utility, which you'll hear about shortly. We focus on new construction and also